Hi, Diane, welcome. All right, welcome everybody. It's Thursday, July 30th, recording here from St. George, Utah. So good to have everybody that's on live. There's AG's face, good to see you. All right, just our quick little disclaimer here. You are about to engage in an intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movements or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or that have any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and come to your feet if you're not already. Get the screen tipped back a little bit more. We're just gonna start with a little bit of breathing and then we'll go into some blood flow. So go ahead and stand with your feet about hip width apart, slight bend of the knees, engage, kind of stack your shoulders right over top of the hips. We're gonna bring our hands in front of the chest. We're gonna breathe in as we reach up to overhead. So go ahead and follow me now. Hands together, breathe in, stretch up nice and tall, and then you're gonna exhale, drop the arms down to the side. Very good. We're gonna do that twice more. Feel free to close the eyes. Breathe in, stretch long, reach up, and exhale, drop the arms down to the side. Fantastic. One more. Breathe in and reach. And exhale, relax the arms down. Fantastic. Go ahead and cross the arms over your shoulders, and we're just simply gonna bend to the side. So keeping a slight bend to the knees, bending your torso to one side and then the other. Very good. We're gonna go about 2 to 3 on each side. You can reach a little bit farther each time. After you get about 2 to 3, with a slight bend continuing in the knees, just gently rotate through your torso. So look over one shoulder and then look over the opposite shoulder. Fantastic. We don't play any music here during these sessions, but being that you're all muted, you're always welcome to play your own in the background. I know Sharon does. Palms in front of your chest. We're gonna do one more cycle of that breathing, and then we'll get into a little bit more movement here. Breathe in, stretch up, really fill the lungs with air, and then exhale, relax the arms down. Fantastic. 2 more. Breathe in, stretch tall. Think about standing tall out of the head, neck, and shoulders. And exhale, relax down. Fantastic. Once more, really breathe in, open the chest. And let it all nice and relaxed. Very good. Let me just get the clock going here. All right, we're gonna start with some gates of heaven. So arms nice and heavy. You're gonna swing through the hips. Just let your arms hang at the side. Just kind of slapping against the body. Coordinate that with your breath. We're gonna go about 30 seconds here. Very good. Fantastic. From there, we're gonna go into a march. So think about lifting up through your core, support through your hips, lift one knee and the opposite arm. Knee up, hips square. Just march as high as you're comfortable. You can keep the knees lower if you need. And we're looking to pause a little bit. So as you lift up, look to hold, and we'll move a little bit faster as we get moving. But for right now, we're really focused on that stability up through the hips. Nice and strong. Very good. Fantastic. From the march, we're gonna go to our seal jacks, hands together in front of the chest. You're gonna step out to the side, open the hands. Close as you step back in, and then we'll go the other way, step out, open the chest. Fighting with this push here, there you go. For anyone that wants a little bit more intensity, if jumping's appropriate, you can hop and open the chest. Otherwise, just find your rhythm, opening throughout. Good job. Got another 10 seconds here. Good job. Shoulders back and down as you open through the chest. Very good. Take it down to a walk. Next, we're gonna keep that slight bend of the knees. Let's take your left foot Step it forward so that you're on the heel, toe is up. Stand tall through your torso. We're gonna send the hips back, bowing forward. Just get a nice little stretch in the hamstring. Come back to standing. So gently bow forward. We'll go between 3 and 5, and then we'll switch legs. Standing tall. Good job. Long through the spine. Send the hips back. Smooth breathing. Fantastic. Let's go one more. And then if you're ready, go ahead and switch legs with me. So left foot down, then we just switch sides. Get a nice strong support in that left leg, heel down, toe up on the right. And then here we go. Long in the chest, bow forward 3 to 5 times. Hinging over, standing tall. Good work. Just a gentle stretch in that hamstring. Good. 2 more. Up. And last one. Fantastic. From here, we're going to go into some balance work. So if you're a little bit off on your balance, stand next to something to help with that balance. Let's start on your right leg. Lift up out of that hip. And then when you're ready, lift up that left leg. You can hold the arms out to the side. We're going to look to hold for 30 seconds. Stop anytime you need or balance check. Your focus here not to let that hip kick out. So continue to lift up and hold. And if you're securing your balance and want an extra challenge, close your eyes, and then your body will be like, where am I? Good job, almost there. Whoops. Keep that center and relax. Fantastic. Hands on the hips. Let's circle the hips around in between legs. 3 to 5, one direction. And 3 to 5, the other direction. Good, just nice and smooth. Movement into the hips. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go single leg balance on the opposite side. So set the foot nice and strong, lift up. And then when you're ready, lift up that opposite leg. Find a spot to focus on. Shoulders down. And breathe. You all are freezing up a little bit on me, so just let me know if you have any issues here, hearing me. It's always a challenge to find the right amount of service. Almost there, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Next, we're gonna go one hand on the hip. Other hand's gonna reach up to overhead for a side stretch. Just gently let the hips shift to the side, look up towards the ceiling, and then we're gonna switch. Hand on the opposite hip. Palm up towards the ceiling, gently shift the hips. Stay strong through the core. 2 more each direction, just on your own tempo. See if you can reach just slightly further each time, not looking to overstretch anything. Very good. Fantastic. Once more each direction, gaze up towards the ceiling so you can kind of have the head follow the stretch. There you go. And last one. Fantastic. All right, we're going to go back to the top. Do one more cycle through with just a little bit variation. So we're back to our gates of heaven here. Swinging at the hips. Arms are heavy. And they just kind of swing and hit the body. Get some good blood flow going. They also say this helps get your cerebral spinal fluid going up and down through your spinal column, which is always good. Fantastic. 10 more seconds here. And then we're going to go into our march next. Instead of a paused march this time, we're going to do our march and punch. We're going to reach across the body. So walk the feet in when you're ready. So we're going to march and punch across the body. Knees stay square, hips stay square, arms reach across. So get that right brain talking to the left brain talking to the right brain. And if you feel ready for it, just a little bit faster tempo than we did on the first set. Nice work. Coordinate that breathing. Exhale as you punch. Very good. 10 more seconds here. We're going to go to our stepping jacks next. You can either stay with those seal jacks like we did the first round, or if you feel good for it, start to bring the arms up to overhead. So stepping to the side, or if you want, you can do a traditional jumping jack here, hopping to the side, whatever you prefer. Whatever makes the most sense for your body and your current energy levels. Very good. And as always, if you ever just need a break, listen to your body and take it. All right, fantastic. We're back to our hamstring stretches. Left foot down, heel down, toe up. Slight bend in that right knee. You can either stay hands over the shoulders or hands behind the head this time. Bowing forward and standing tall. Get 5 on each side, nice and smooth. The key here as you're hinging, chest tall, core engaged, send the hips back. Very good. Couple more. Just nice and smooth, kind of feeling that end range. Whenever that hamstring says hello, say hello back and then stand back up. Fantastic. Go ahead and shift the hips side to side and then we'll switch sides. Good job. When you're ready, set the left leg nice and strong, heel down, toe up on that right, either across the shoulders or behind the head, bowing forward for 5. If you have a tendency to get dizzy, try to find an area to focus on it. As you stand up, you focus on one spot straight ahead. Nice, smooth breathing. Hinging over and stands. Probably about 5. We'll go one more for good measure. If you're new with me today, you'll know that you'll learn that I'm not the best counter while I talk. All right, one more set of our single leg balance. So let's start with your balancing on your right leg. So set that right leg nice and strong, lift up out of the hips, and then when you're ready, lift up the left. You can lift the knee high or just keep it down towards the ground. We're gonna go 30 seconds here. Continue to pull up through the core. Very good. Over halfway, 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and switch. We're gonna go hip circles before we switch legs. So we balanced on the right, next will be the left. There we go. Good job. Go about 3 directions and then transition to the other way. Good, Laura. It's funny, everybody's frozen except for Laura. I can see her moving. All right, now we're gonna stand strong through that left leg. Lift the chest, lift up through the core. 2, 1. We'll begin that 30 seconds. And just pay attention to your balance. There'll be a tendency, I notice myself, I kind of shift to the outside of my foot. Focus on that big toe, trying to push your big toe down. And that's gonna help activate the arch of the foot and stabilize all the way up the chain. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna be doing some upper body work today to start. So let's go ahead and warm up that upper body specifically with our arm swings. So across the body, alternate which arm's on top, which arm is under. Very good. Shoulders down, opening through the chest. Fantastic. Then we're gonna swing them up and down. So as we reach overhead, we wanna watch that we don't arch the back. So think ribs down, core strong. You're gonna reach up, palms are pointing away from me, and then push them back behind you, palms face behind. So palms face forward, palms face behind. Let's go up and down about 5 times. Reach and down. Fantastic. Reach and down. When you finish that, let's go ahead and circle the arms. So nice big circles, opening through the chest and shoulders. Let's get about 3 to 4, and then we'll reverse directions, up and around. All right, fantastic. If you, I know that some of you weren't on the email that are jumping in today, but if you do have a PVC or a stick around, or if you don't have that, if you have like a strap or something, we're just gonna use this to open the upper body a little bit. You can hold this as if it's a bar. Broomsticks work really well. Not a big deal here, but if you have something in your hand you can hold, you can bring it up in front of the body and lift it up to overhead, and then just gently pull it behind you to help open the chest and shoulders. So bring it down in front, reach up, and if you don't have anything to hold on to, just pretend that you have something. Up and open and down. Very good. Once more, and same thing, we don't want to overarch here. So core engaged, ribs down, and then we're going to bring it down behind the back of the neck. So I'm going to come down kneeling just to be a little closer. So you can stay standing with the PVC or the broom on your neck. We're just going to push it up to overhead and bringing it down. Up and down about 5 to 8 times. Just opening the chest. Good. See, a lot of you found some objects to use. That's excellent. So oftentimes I'll talk about shoulders down. The exception would be here when we're pushing weight to overhead as we're getting ready to in the next piece. On that movement, we're going to push the shoulders up. That's pretty much the only time I ever will say shoulders up, because everything else we're typically focused on shoulders back and down. All right. And then last piece, we're going to open the hips a little bit as well. Take your left foot, step it forward, and step your right foot back behind you, just like in a little stagger stance. You can either stay up on the ball of the foot or sit back into the hip. Then take your right hand to your left shoulder, and we're going to use your left hand to kind of pull the elbow down against your chest. From here, we're going to shift and rotate towards the front leg. So I'm kind of opening through the chest and shoulders, shifting and rotating towards that front leg. As you rotate, engage that glute on the right side and just very gently see if you can shift the hip forward. Shouldn't be painful at all, just help open the front of the hip. Good. When you finish, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing on the other side. So hand to the opposite shoulder, pull that elbow down against the torso, and now we're going to rotate towards the lead leg. Get about 5 rotations or so. And 5. Excellent. Go ahead and grab some water. Let's talk about our first circuit. All right, I'll demonstrate the movements, but just to see them on paper first. We're going to be doing 3 sets. If you haven't been doing a lot of weight training recently or you're new to this, you may want to consider doing the first and the third set or just doing 2 of the 3. Make adjustments as needed. We'll be doing 30 seconds of a left arm Arnold press. That's an overhead press. 15 seconds in between exercises. Then we'll switch arms and go to the right. Then we're going to do a core exercise for the lower abdomen. We'll do 30 seconds of a tuck up. And then we'll take a minute to do a short stretch before we go back to the next set. So let me demonstrate those movements. You can do all these standing. I'm just going to demonstrate the overhead press kneeling. You can sit or stand, however you prefer. All right, so the Arnold press, you can either use 2 weights at once if you have even weights, and you'll just hold one actively while you use the other, or you'll just do one at a time. So it starts with the palm facing towards your body, and then as you press to overhead, you're going to turn the hand away and it faces away. So there's just a little bit of a rotation, palm towards you, push up, palm away. Okay? And just as we discussed in those warm-up stretches, as you press to overhead, avoid this. So ribs down. If you're a little bit limited on your shoulder mobility, it may be out in front. Ideally, we have good mobility. We want to kind of have that shoulder right next to the ear. And it's as if you're putting the weight over the center of your head. So it keeps close to your center of gravity, all right? So you'll do left arm for 30, switch, right arm for 30, and then we'll go to our core exercise, okay? Ideally, if you can get on the floor for this, we're gonna have you go down on the ground and lie on your back, but let me show it from a chair first. All right, so tuck-ups on a chair. Ideally, if your chair has handles, that's what you want to use. You'll come to the edge. You're really focused here to not let the low back arch. So I almost round a little bit to engage that lower body. And you can do either one leg, alternating side, just pulling the leg in towards your chest. Or if you feel stable, you can use those handles and pull both knees in at the same time. Okay, so that's our tuck-ups from a seated position. On the floor, you'll lie on your back. Set the shoulder blades back and down. And now we're focused, same thing I talked about while seated. We don't want that low back to arch. So I'm going to roll the hips back, roll your pelvis back to put the low back flat to the ground. And then as you're able to hold that, you can lift the legs up and control them down. So we're avoiding that arch position. If you have any issue, you can tuck it up a little bit more. You can just do one leg at a time on the floor as well, where you're focused on bracing the lower core. And then we'll transition. Any questions on those two exercises? All right, we got a thumbs up from Sharon. All right, if there's no questions, we're gonna start with the left arm Arnold press. We'll go in 8 seconds. Go ahead and grab your weights, palm towards you, and here we go. Again, you're welcome to be standing. I'm just kneeling for proximity of the camera. Breathe smooth here. Good job. We're moving for 30 seconds, but just depending upon your weight, you don't have to work for that whole time. If you want to rest a little bit sooner, by all means. 2, 1, and there's our 30. Good job. 15 seconds. Moving to the right arm next. Probably go a little bit faster when we're just switching arms, but that's okay. 2, 1, and begin when you're ready. Push high. Especially on this first set, you want to really just treat it like a warm-up, moving nice and smooth throughout. And you can either keep that pace on each set, or if you want to move a little bit faster, then there's always that option. Nice work. Drive straight up and controlling down. Fantastic. Good. AG, try to bring it right over the center of your head and rest. Good job. Good. If you're going to the floor or to the chair, we're going to go to tuck ups next. I'll show the first round from the chair. Set the shoulder blades if you're on the ground and begin when you're ready. So lifting the knees towards the chest. Focus on that low back, not letting it arch. So basically like pull your belly button in while also bracing your core. Good job. Halfway. Fantastic. 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. There's set 1. Those of you on the floor, just gradually make your way up to standing. We got a minute rest here. And during this minute rest, I'm going to encourage you to do a behind the back stretch. So if you have the flexibility to interlace the hands behind you, you can interlace the fingers behind and extend through the elbows, or use a band or a towel to grab onto. There we go. And then extend out there. Core strong. You can lift the arms up and either stay here or bow forward, add a forward bow to it. And shake it out. Fantastic. All right, about 20 seconds till we start. Feel free to grab some water. All right, going in 10. We're gonna start with that left hand overhead press. Palm towards you. 2, 1, and here we go. As we press up, palm's gonna turn so that you're pushing it straight away. Good job. Very good. That looks better, AG. Nice work. There we go. 5 seconds. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Go ahead and shake it out in between arms. 15 seconds in between. All right. Right hand this time, palm towards you to start, and begin when you're ready. Push straight to overhead, nice and smooth. Very good. Smooth breathing. Halfway through. That's the way. And 3, 2, 1, and we'll go 20 seconds. A little bit longer transition. Either back to the chair for tuck-ups or make your way to the floor. Sometimes just getting on and off the ground is half the battle with these workouts. All right, it's good exercise for us. So we're doing the tuck-ups next. So we're gonna bring the shoulder blades back. And 2, 1, here we go. Lifting up, controlling down, pushing that low back into the floor. Lost my block. Very good. So even though you're pulling the belly button in, it should still feel like you're bracing, like your core is kind of pushing out against the abdomen. That's good. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Just take your time getting up if you're down on the floor. When you do make your way up, we're going to be doing a little tricep stretch next. From standing or seated, you're going to reach one arm up in the air, bend at the elbow, and really notice your neck. So we don't want the head to drop forward. So lift through the chest, grab the elbow with the opposite arm, and now we're going to side bend. Stand tall and bend to the side. Let's go 3 on each side, just nice and smooth. And then we'll get ready for that third set. Shake it out, reach high, bend at the elbow, chin in, head tall, and bending to the side. Fantastic. All right. 10 seconds till we start that third set. A little bit longer rest this time. This will be our last one of the overhead press. And left arm, begin when you're ready. Push straight up. Palm towards you as you lower down. Smooth breathing. Ribs down, don't let that back arch. Very good. Good overhead position, Jean. Looks nice. Rest and rotate arms. Nice work. All right, going in 5, opposite arm. Last one of the overhead presses, and here we go. Push up, controlling it down. Nice. Connect to your breathing. Nice job, almost there. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. Last set of tuck-ups. So either seated in a chair or make your way to the floor. All right. Shoulder blades backing down. 2, 1. Whenever you're ready. Gently lift the hips. Contract the lower core. Controlling on the down. Pushing that low back into the floor if you're down on the ground with us. Those of you that are seated, just watch that arch. Don't want to arch that low back. Good. 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, and rest. Beautiful. All right, while you're down on the ground, some of you can stay down there because quad stretch can be a little bit easier down here. Those standing or in, we're doing the one where you usually take the band around your foot and look to pull the foot towards the glute. So we're gonna go quad stretch as we get ready for the next piece. So if you're down on the floor, or you can do it standing, pulling the heel towards the glute. Go ahead and begin. We're gonna go 20 seconds on each side. This can be done standing as well, just a little bit of a balance check while you're standing. Very good. We're gonna be doing some single leg work next. You'll have your choice of either working on your balance. Go ahead and get ready to switch sides with a tandem stance, which I'll demonstrate. Or you can work on like a progression into a lunge, starting with a giant step or a full lunge if you're ready for that. Biggest thing is really, especially that I can't be there with you all, is not to progress your movements too quickly. You want to be confident that you're ready for them. All right, go ahead and relax on that other side quad stretch if you haven't already. And then next, before we get into the single leg work, I want to do one more stretch for the upper body. We're going to do a chest opener. So either find a doorway or you can go to the wall as well. I'm going to use this post right here. So you want to stand along the wall or doorway. If you have a wall, you can just put your hand against the wall and turn away. If you do have a doorway or a post like I do, elbow right about shoulder height. Place the forearm on the doorway. Same side leg is going to step forward. So inside leg steps forward, and then you're just going to gently lean into it to look to open the front of the chest. And then think about turning your torso away. Again, you're focused on that pec area, opening the front of the chest. We'll hold about 15 to 20 seconds each side. Breathe. Looking over that opposite shoulder. And relax. Good job. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So either just turn and face the other way. Again, elbow about shoulder height. Inside leg steps forward. Lean your torso into the stretch and then gently turn your torso away. I like to open up the other hand as well. Look over that shoulder. These doorway openers are really good to help keep our upper body open. When these pecs get tight, they pull our whole upper body forward. It can kind of cause some headaches and some discomfort in the shoulders and neck area. And relax. And everything in our life tends to be right in front of us, closing down that area. So we really need to be intentional about that. Okay, let's talk about this next piece. I'll just show it to you on the board, those of you that are visual. So we're doing 3 sets again. You can choose. This time just one exercise, alternating legs. So I'll show all 3. You're going to do 30 seconds of either a tandem stance, a giant step, or a reverse lunge. So let's talk about those progressions. So the tandem stance is where we're working on our balance and you're pretending that you're standing on a tightrope. So you would step your left foot in front, right foot directly behind where it's literally like my toe to the heel. And then from there you stand tall, look to stack your shoulders over your hips, and you just practice your balance. It's one of those things that's a little bit more tricky than it sounds. If you're a little bit off on your balance, I highly recommend standing next to the chair or a wall so I could just have my chair here for aided balance as needed. Okay, so that's option 1 is your tandem stance. Option 2 is going to be a giant step. So you'll stand tall. If you're going to start on your left leg, you want to set that foot nice and strong, heel planted, big toe pushes into the floor. Then you would step your opposite leg back. So it's literally what it says, a giant step. So step back longer than you would normally. And then as we return, we're focused on that front foot. Big toe pushes down, heel pushes down to propel you up and forward. So I step back, chest tall, heel drives down, step forward, okay? And then the lunge is just a deeper progression of that, where I would control that knee down, where I'm focused on, again, the heel stays planted, and this shin, you want it to be vertical, so we don't want our lunge to look like this, where the knee is driving forward and that heel is up, okay? To get up out of the lunge, driving that heel to the floor, chest up, pull up and forward. So from the front, the giant step looks like this. Oops, and up. See, my balance a little bit off too. All right, or that full lunge, be knee to the ground or as close as you can, up and forward. Questions on any of the single leg work? And you can vary it up. You could do tandem stance the first set, giant step after that, and just make sure you don't progress into the lunge until you're confident. Any questions? All right. Left leg first. So if you're going to do the tandem, I'm going to demonstrate tandem on the first round. I'm just going to progress through the movements as we go. If you're doing tandem, left foot in front or left leg support. And 3, 2, 1, lift up through the core and hold, or work on your steps, your choice. Just like when we did that single leg balance in the warm-up, for any extra challenge on balance work, just close the eyes. It becomes a whole different game. Very good. Nice, almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. About 10 seconds in between legs, 10 to 15. So now we'll go the right foot forward, stand nice and smooth. If you're doing the tandem, left foot stacks directly behind, lift up through the core, and here we go. Good job. 10 seconds down. If you do lose your balance, just come back in when you're ready. Focus on keeping your shoulders stacked over the hips. So there's that tendency to kind of lean forward at the hips. Pull the chest up, shoulders right over the hips. Almost there. And rest. Fantastic. So you can stick with that, or you can progress the next one. If you have a little bit of uncertainty in your knees, then I'd recommend just stay with that tandem stance. I'm going to go to giant step next. So let's step that left foot nice and strong and begin when you're ready. Either stick with this tandem or join me on the next progression. And the giant step has a similar focus to that lunge on that front foot. So on that left leg, we're focused on the big toe pushes down and the heel as well. I like to pretend I'm at the beach and I'm pulling my heel into the sand to propel me up and forward. Good job. And 2, 1, and rotate sides. Fantastic. Again, 15 seconds in between. Now we're going right foot forward. Place the heel nice and strong. Push that big toe down, chest tall. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm sticking with the giant. You do what's best for you. Very nice. Real secure on the front leg. Continue to lift up through the core. You have 10 seconds left. Good job. Chest tall. And rest. Fantastic. There's 2 sets. Just 1 more to go. So back to that left foot, either stacked in front for the tandem, stick with the giant step, or join me on the lunges for this round. Begin when you're ready. Front heel stays planted. Really good control. Very nice. If you are doing that full lunge, it's imperative that you control that knee down. You really don't want to slam it down, obviously. Nice and controlled. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Just 1 more leg to go. Place the right foot nice and secure. Say hello to the big toe. Push it into the floor to lift that arch. And 2, 1. Begin when you're ready. Very nice. Good control. Back and down, up and forward. Almost there. and rest. Awesome. All right, we're gonna open up the hips a little bit before we go into our last piece. So if you do have somewhere that you can sit, otherwise you can mimic this on the floor. We're gonna do a glute stretch from a seated position. You can sit on the edge of a couch, or else you can lie on your back and I can talk you through it. All right, we're gonna extend out the left leg, and you're gonna pull your right knee in towards your chest, and then gently bring it across the body like you're trying to bring the knee towards the opposite hip. We're looking to get a little bit of a stretch here in the outer glute. So sitting tall, pulling it in. We'll hold this for another 15. And just kind of, tease out that area. So if you're like, okay, kind of open there, you can move the knee down, lift it up, just see where that hip might have some stiffness in it. Good, and relax. We'll switch legs. So kind of extend the opposite leg a little bit. I'm seated on the edge of the chair. Pull the same side knee in towards your chest, and then gently bring it across the body. Again, looking to target that glute area, the outer hip. Do another 15 from here. Fantastic. And 2, 1, and rest there. All right, stay where you are. We're gonna go from the glute stretch into what we call the figure 4. So now we'll go a little bit deeper into that hip stretch. You're gonna take your foot to the opposite thigh, work it up towards you as well as you can. Now we're gonna sit nice and tall from the torso and then bow forward, looking to open up that outer hip. So if the right foot's crossing the left, you should feel this in the right hip. And like I mentioned earlier, we want these stretches to be gentle. You shouldn't feel like you're convulsing and like dripping sweat like crazy. So if you are, then back out of the stretch. We don't need to stress out our nervous system too much here. Just encourage it. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Sitting tall, leaning forward. Good 20 seconds here. Smooth breathing. And 2, 1, and go ahead and relax. Fantastic. Go ahead and get a little bit of water. I'm going to talk about the next piece. Final set here. Depending upon how you're feeling, if you're like, all right, that was good for the day, then have that be. Otherwise, we're going to be doing some intervals. So each interval is 2 minutes in length. We're going to be doing 10 thrusters or squat thrusts. I'll demonstrate those and give alternatives. 10 rows, either with a band or with dumbbells. And then you'll do a burpee in remaining time. And then we'll have 1 minute rest in between sets. Or you could take like a 3-minute break and go every other set, just depending on how you feel. All right, let's talk about these movements. All right, so first the thruster. So I just pulled this out as like a target. It involves a squat. So while you guys are listening to me, we haven't done much squatting other than the single leg work. So you can start to kind of warm up your squat a little bit where you sink the hips back, sink down, just kind of warm up that, say hello to the knees. If you have something to hold on to, you can hold on to something for extra support. Just really make sure when you're squatting, those heels are planted and you're pushing your knees out so they don't dive in. So knees push out and my heels are flat on the ground with my whole foot, all right? If you're just joining us or you haven't been doing this a whole lot, I would recommend just do 10 squats and not worry too much about the thruster, okay? Because we've been building into this. Otherwise, the thruster is where we're gonna hold our weights at our shoulders, or you can hold one weight in front of the body. You'll sit back into your squat with the support or without, and then as you stand, you push up to overhead. So it's a combination movement of a squat into an overhead press, okay? So we would do this 10 times. You can do it to a chair or a regular squat, or you sit the hips back and push to overhead. Okay, questions on that? All right, from the squat, we go to the row. So you can keep the same weights in your hand if you're using weights. Chest strong, hinging forward. You can pull the weights into your side. So I have one in each hand, rowing it in, all right? Or if you have those elastic bands, there's two different ways you can use this. Probably more than two, but I'm gonna show two. One, you can do a similar bent over position where I put a foot on the band, hold it in each hand, and then I bow forward and just row the band, okay? Or if you don't feel comfortable to hold that hinging position for a long period of time, then I'd recommend sitting down. You can do it from a chair, certainly, where you sit on the edge of the chair. Whoops. Put one foot around the band, and then you would row in this way. Shoulder blades back and down, pulling those shoulder blades back and rowing into the body. Questions on that? Or the other option would be to sit on the ground. I didn't really clarify. Sit on the ground with one foot and then row there. Okay. Third exercise is our burpee. So you can do it elevated, where you use a chair, support the hands, step the feet back, step the feet up, and reach to overhead, okay? This would be our elevated burpee. Or if you're going to the floor, step back, you come to the top of a push-up, step up, and then you reach to overhead, okay? Questions? Those are our three movements. So you have either the squat or the squat to overhead, that bent over row or row with the band, and then our burpees. And you work for the full 2 minutes or just rest as needed when you're in the middle of that. All right, we ready? Got the smile and head nod from Laura. All right, thanks for that. 15 seconds. And remember the reps are 10. So 10 of each, and then burpees. And you just want to move steady here. 5 seconds. Set the feet in your squatting position and begin when you're ready. Send the hips back, heels down. Either just do a squat or push to overhead. Nice and smooth. Very good. Sit back and drive tall. Wonder what number I'm on. I think that's 5. 6. 10 or about 10. 7. Good job. 8. 9. And 10. Beautiful. So you're going to your row next. I'm going to do the bent over position. So core strong, slight bend of the knees, send the hips back, and I'm going to pull the weights into my side. Head neutral, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. Sharon, lift your chest a little bit more so you're a little bit flatter in the back. There you go. Beautiful. Good job, Laura. There you go, Anne. We're just over a minute in. I'm not good at talking and counting. That should be about 10. All right, when you finish your rows, we'll start the burpees. I'm going to show them elevated on this first round. Support strong through your shoulders, core strong, and you come into that plank, reaching to overhead. You're welcome to go to the floor as well and to the top of the push-up. 30 seconds, we're just going to work to the end here, and then we have a minute break coming. Very good. Nice job, Jean. Got my aunt joining us today. Good to see you. 10 seconds, crew. Engage the glutes and stand. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, there's set 1. 1 minute to rest. Grab a sip of water. We'll do that upwards of 3 more times, maybe just 2 together. I'll let you guys vote as we get there. I'd always say I'd like you to do a little bit less than too much so that you can feel good walking around tomorrow and you're not like, oh my goodness, she killed me. People tell me I'm trying to kill them. I like to remind them that actually I'm trying to keep you alive. Alive and vital. 20 seconds. All right, I'm going to show an alternative way to do the thruster. If you only have like one weight to use, you can hold it in front of the chest, and it will squat down and push straight to overhead with one weight. All right, set those feet just outside the hips, heels planted, and begin when you're ready. We're going for 10 reps here. Just a regular squat or a squat to overhead, your choice. Good job. Stay connected to your breath. Meaning I don't want you really holding your breath as you do these movements. The weight should be light enough that you can still brace and breathe throughout. Good job. Heels down, knees out. A few more. Nice job, AG. Good work, Diane. Fantastic. Go into those bent over rows next. I'm going to show this one seated with the band. So with the band, you want to put it around 1 foot. Extend it out, sit tall, row those elbows in. On those rows, you can kind of pause against the torso. Squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. Just under a minute to work. Good job. Keep that breathing consistent, and when you finish your rows, then we're going to go into those burpees next. 40 seconds till we rest. You can either keep it elevated, okay, or take it down to the floor. Also, a way to progress it is if you have like lower support that you could use. You could go from like the back of the couch to the side of the couch to a bench. As long as it's going to be sturdy to hold you. Good job. We have just under 15 seconds. Keep breathing consistently. And 3, 2, 1. There's the end of set 2. Nice job, Laura. Walk it out. Get a little bit of water. And the workout did say between 2 and 4, so check in with yourself. You feel good for another one? Are you starting to feel a little bit on the edge of maybe being a little woozy or something? Call it a day if you need to. Otherwise, if you're feeling good, we got set 3 coming up in 30 seconds. All right, 15 seconds. After this round, we'll do a thumbs up vote for anyone that wants to do a 4th. Otherwise, we're going to do a cool down stretch at the end. Set the feet, 2, 1, and begin. Heels down, knees out. Control yourself down. Push high to overhead if you're doing that overhead reach. Very good. Breathe. Fantastic. Good job. After 10, you can move on to your rows. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to show the bent over row with the band this time from standing. So I'll stand on one of it, tall through the chest, bow forward, and I'm going to pull the elbows up and in. It should look the same if you're doing it with dumbbells as well. Really important though to keep that core strong. If you need to stand up and take a break before you get to 10, do it. 1 minute to work, crew. Fantastic. When you finish your bent over rows, guess what? Finishing with those burpees. And on these burpees, it's important to think about which foot do you tend to step up with. Usually we have a dominant side, so get yourself to alternate which one you step up with and which one you step back with to help keep your hips nice and even. Good job. Just under 30 seconds left. Strong in the core as you come to standing. Engage those glutes to pull your torso upright. Very good. Five seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, thumbs up if anybody wants a 4th set. Or if you're good, we'll go into our stretch. Got a thumbs down, thumbs up from Diane. All right, thumbs down from Laura. All right, those of you thumbs down, just chill out, take some water breaks. We're gonna go one more round. Don't feel obligated to join. There's no peer pressure here. Sharon's probably put about 4 hours in the garden and yard work by this time today. All right, 20 seconds till we go. How you doing, AG? We see you. Good to see you. All right, 5 seconds. Set the feet, tall chest. 2, 1, and here we go. Those of you that are resting, you could do your quad stretch again that we did earlier. That heel towards the glute stretch. Good job, Diane. Anyone else that's working? Going for 10 here. Remember, as you reach overhead, core strong, don't overarch the back. Fantastic. Bent over row can also be done with one dumbbell, where I'll hold it up by each head, hinge over. I'm gonna pull it straight into the chest. Good job. Coming up on that first minute. One minute to go. All right, lots of time for burpees. 45 seconds left. Those of you that maybe finished your quad stretch, you could go back to the doorway and do your chest opener. And then after you finish that, we'll probably all be ready for stretching. If you want to repeat that pec stretch, you could repeat that. There you go, Laura, 30 seconds left. Nice job, Diane. Remember, we're alternating which foot we step up and back with. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Yay! All right. Walk it out as needed. First stretch we're going to do is going to be from a seated position. Let's see if I can sit on this guy. All right. We're going to do our seated spinal rotation with our shoulder rolls, for those of you that know it. So sitting tall, same side hand to the same side shoulder, opposite hand to the opposite thigh. Sit tall, kind of pull yourself into that twist. And if you want to go deeper in the twist, cross that leg over. You can go a little bit deeper. And then we're rotating this elbow backwards, as if you're trying to outline maybe like a softball or a large tomato. And then look over that shoulder as well. Breathe and just encourage your body to have a little bit of a twist through the torso, opening through the chest. Feel a little bit of popping and clicking going on in the shoulder, just keeping it all moving. Good job. Shake that out and we'll switch sides. So sitting tall, hand to the opposite thigh, pulling into that twist. Again, if you want to go deeper, you can cross that leg over. And now we're pivoting or rotating that elbow backwards, opening through the chest. Fantastic. All right. Go ahead and, if you can, come to a standing position. We're going to repeat that tricep stretch we did earlier. So slight bend in the legs so you don't ever lock out those knees. Let's start with your right arm. Reach up nice and tall. Bend at the elbow. Grab the elbow. Remember not to let yourself cave forward. So chest up. And now we bend to the side. Good breathing. Fantastic. Arm swings. In between arms. Open the chest. Alternate which arm's on top. And switch sides when you're ready. I think I said your left. So that was mirroring me. Chest up. Grab the elbow. And we're side bending to the opposite side. Fantastic. All right, behind the back stretch, interlace the hands or grab a towel, extend out, opening through the chest. All right, very good. And then those of you that can get on the ground, join me down the ground. We'll do one more stretch to kind of open up the low back before we finish. Okay, if you can't get down on the ground, repeat that one that we just did, where you did the spinal twist and the shoulder rolls. Okay. If it works for you to come flat, we'll actually do two down here. We'll start by pulling both legs into the chest. You can just gently rock yourself side to side. And if you feel good there, you take your arms out to the side. I have both legs that are held together. And then now gently, I'm going to bring both legs to one side as I look over the opposite shoulder. Use your core here to not just let yourself drop into the twist. And then use your core to pull the legs up and start to bring them towards the other side. Looking away now, looking over the opposite shoulder. And then you can just gently work into this side to side a couple times. All right, and all the stretches we did earlier, quad stretch, doorway openers, also recommended. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Ran a little bit long today. Thanks for coming.